Well, hi folks, this is Darren with MyRV Works. A lot of folks that are watching our videos ask us questions, and this is an opportunity for us to jump in and maybe answer some of those questions. So if you like this, we're going to be doing a lot more of these things, and every one of them's got a little different feel to it. We'll jump into some different topics and things like that. If you like this kind of content, make sure you click that subscribe button, ring the bell, those types of things. That way, every week or so often when we come out with this kind of a content, you'll be notified right away. So without any further ado, let's go over to the shop and start answering some of these questions. Thanks for watching. Our next question is coming from Wayne. Now, his question's basically involving the DC side of his RV. He says, my lights turn themselves off and my carbon monoxide LP detector keeps beeping. And the lights will stay on for at most 3 to 4 hours and his refrigerator stops working on electricity. So all those things have in common. I would assume that even his water heater wouldn't work, and I would assume that if you tried to turn on the air conditioner, that wouldn't work either, unless it's an air conditioner with the knobs up in the ceiling. But if anything has a 12-volt brain in it, which is your water heater has a 12-volt brain for the DSI, unless it's the kind you light manually outside, but if you flip a switch and the water heater starts, then that's going to have a 12-volt brain. Your air conditioner, if it's got a thermostat on the wall, it's going to have a 12-volt brain. Your refrigerator has a 12-volt brain. So all these things with 12-volt brains will not work in his situation. His lights are turning off. And so it seems to me that there is a problem with the converter. Okay, as a battery is consuming power, it might go through some little ups and downs and eventually where it's just depleted and it won't run anything. So to test this, you're going to have typically two types of scenarios. You're going to have your service panel here with no converter in it. Your converter is going to be separate. On the back of your converter, you're going to see a plug right there, okay? And that's where the pigtail from your converter would be plugged in. Now, we see that overwhelmingly. Not everybody's going to have that, but that is a very common type of a configuration. And then coming out of your converter, it comes through the back wall here, and it feeds the DC bus bar where all your fuses are and all your DC loads go into the coach. For Wayne's question, we're not talking about the AC side, we're talking about the DC side. Some of you are going to have we'll call it a breaker box, panel box, but there's a whole second level to it, you know, and then on those of you, you're going to have the converter downstairs to the main breaker box right here, okay? There goes my mouse deterrent, because I was going to use him to talk about eating the mouse so they don't chew the wires. But, and on those, let me put this back over here, you usually have two screws and this slides out the front, and then here's your converter here. So those are two overwhelmingly very popular type of configurations that we find. One where it's a standalone converter and one where the converter is inside. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you because your mileage may vary on which ones you have. Regardless, on your breaker panel, some of you are going to have the fuse panel here. Let me just pop this out real quick because this is what we're talking about. Okay, so we're talking about this. Whether it's in this panel, it could be its own separate box just with the fuses in it that's not part of this. It could be integrated into this, but you're going to get to the part where you have these two big screws. I'll tell you what, let me come around that side and show you what I'm talking about. So however you get to this, it could be integrated into your panel box. It could be its own separate panel box, but you're going to see these two big screws. And if you look at those, it's going to say positive and negative. Let's get you to focus on those. See how one of them right here says negative and the other one over here says positive? Okay. So wherever so I wanted to show you that. Let me jump back in the back again. So to figure out your problem, Wayne, you're going to need to figure out where this is. The reason I'm breaking this up is because whether your converter is integrated into your fuse box, your main box, or whether it's separate, there's going to be two big wires. They're going to feed the plus and the minus. Okay, that's why I need you to get to this. Okay, whether it's integrated into the box or it's its own standalone coming off the front, red and black, you're going to find it's going to feed the top. Somehow, you're going to get 12 volts to this. If it's coming from the converter, it's going to be closer to 13.5 or 13.6 volts. That's what you're going to look for. So you're going to take your meter, put it in DC mode, DC voltage, take your meter, gain access to these two larger screws that say plus and minus. Different panels have them different ways, but all the fuses are going to have that. That one's negative, this one's positive, and you're going to read the voltage you have here. If you get 13.6 on your meter, then your converter is working fine. If you get anything less than 13 volts, if you get 12, 12 and a half, 12.7, it's not coming from the converter, that's coming from your battery, and your converter is not doing its job, it's not charging. Why would the converter not work? The converter itself could be dead. Most of these converters have fuses that protect them. This is an appliance just as surely as a microwave, just as surely as a hairdryer, just as surely as anything. You plug it into 120, it's going to give you 12 volts. It's going to be 120 AC, 12 volts DC. That's its job as an appliance. Right, Romeo? Romeo concurs. I tell you, the set around here. This one here, I'm going to give it 120 on these wires. It's integrated into the panel. I'm going to give it 120 on the wires. It's going to give me 12 volts DC. 12 volts DC out here. So I'm really trying to stress the point that your converter could be a standalone or integrated, but regardless of it's standalone or integrated, it's going to give you 12 volt, two big 12 volt wires, whether at the front or here, feeding your DC panel. And what you need to do is you need to verify what the voltage is there, okay? This one right here, it says on the sticker, output 13.6 volts. Therefore, if I'm giving this 120 volts, okay, then I expect to get 13.6 coming out the other side of it. Go, no go, pass, fail, yes or no kind of a question. It's not a, well, maybe, you know, no, that's this job. I give it 120, it gives me 13.6, period. That's what it does. This one, probably the same thing. The nameplate on this would be on the cover. If you are not getting the 13.6, then you have a converter problem. If it's a standalone converter, they will have two fuses on the front. Okay, I need you to look at those, make sure those fuses are intact. Most of them are 30 volt, 30 amp. I have seen some where they're 40 amp. This one, the fuse is going to be integrated into the panel here. So check your fuses. Make sure that your converter is giving you the power. If not, you have an option. If it's the kind that is integrated in underneath, these, you got to do a little bit of surgery, just a little bit of surgery, but these standalones, you take the screws out, slide this out, this will fit in this one's place, okay? So you slide this out from underneath the downstairs part of your breaker box, and this will fit in its place, okay? That will work. I do it all the time. So if you're telling me that after 3 or 4 hours your battery and all these things stop working, your converter is not charging your battery. Okay. Now, you have a couple options there. You could either replace your converter, or you could just go get a battery trickle charger or something like that. If this is a temporary fix, you could just get a 12 volt. You could even use jumper cables off of a vehicle and jumper your battery to charge your battery to get you through a little bit. So those are some things. So Wayne, I felt like I jumped around a little bit on this one, talking about different things, but I guess I wanted to say that it's your converter, and I really wanted to say that there's a line here between some of these converters are built into the bottom half of your breaker box, and some of them are standalone with a plug on the back, and some of them don't have the plug on the back, the wire just comes in, and then this is separate. It's going to be within this distance of your breaker box, and sometimes you have to take your breaker box out with all the wires pulled off to the side to gain access to this, but you're after the output side of your converter. You're looking for the nameplate, in this instance, 13.6. I hope that helps. I hope it didn't confuse you. Like I said, I felt like I was jumping around a lot on that. But so Wayne, hopefully I did not confuse the issue, and somehow I was able to convey to you what I would do if I was there. Basically, I would just check right here. Am I getting the nameplate of the output of the converter or not? If I am not, the converter's bad. If I am not, then I need to make sure that the converter is in fact getting 120 volts. Okay? It could be something as simple as this kind of a configuration, and it came unplugged, and your converter is fine, and everything's fine, it just came unplugged. It could be that. Could be something as simple as that. Could be as simple as a blown fuse. Could be not as simple where the whole converter is fried. So those are a couple things. If I was there, these are the paths that I would take. All right, I'm off to the next question. Thanks, Furs. Well, folks, that's all the time I have right now to answer some of these questions. We try to keep these things short and compact. But if this was helpful, give us a thumb up, subscribe to our channel. If you like this kind of a content, you could support us on Patreon. And we also have some links on our website, myrvworks.com, where you can get to our merchandise store, our tool store, because we're making tools now, and also some links on Amazon, where some affiliate links, where we'll kind of put stuff down there that we use a lot. So it's a pleasure it's a privilege to answer your questions. I really enjoy doing that as I get time. So thank you so much from all of us on My RV Works. Thank you for watching. Happy campers, say My RV Works.